To start things off with 2 players towards B, nothing crazy, but the jump, I don't think I'll see any of these players going to banana, and the whole team are there. Need a bit of game sound for this. Smoke going down, and Fugly will rotate towards construction. So they'll fix the sound in a second, don't worry guys. 5 players on banana for the T side. Nafly is just keeping an eye on a flank. There it is. So 1 player spotted. NRG don't know if there's anybody. Oh no, they're pushing. NRG have been pushing second mid, but they're not rotating people towards B yet.
This is a pretty interesting spot. Do you try to concede that? Do you concede the bomb site and just try to play retake, or do you try to actually fight here? I see Fugly already gets tagged down, dings through the smoke, I think. And now it's a 4v5 retake. That is not comfortable, to say the least, for NRG. Team Liquid's in a very strong position, at least doing yet more damage, and they don't have a huge amount of positioning, Team Liquid, but they have the numbers and they have integrity of health. But Circus showing up to the scene, quickly delivering death and destruction onto the bomb site. They're taking down 1. This is second going down on the side as fighting continues by Banana, fighting all over the place now as Cirque continues to do damage. He is the healthiest man with 33 points of health right now. That bomb is very close to detonation, and looks like Nitro will be enough to finish things off, but that got a little bit too close.
Nice. Good start for Team Liquid. Let's see what NRG choose to do. It's going to be the full force if Cirque's going to join them as well. Really nice shot there from Nitro. First round of a long best of 3 for these 2 teams. North American derby. They want to get some revenge after NRG topped the table. Right then. Cirque has a deagle and a smoke grenade. The rest of the team pretty much fully invested, so for the most part it's still a traditional setup from NRG. 3-2. That's a bad miss. So how do NRG make the most of their force buy scenario? They've got the CZ. You can see that Cirque is playing from the double stack, the default plant basically, so he's not trying to hold top mid where there might be some range advantage to the SMGs. He's going for those close quarters engagements, just shoulder peeking, keeping an eye on what's going on, as is Fugly around the arch position. So NRG are trying to use the weapons as close as possible. How will Liquid deal with this?
Yeah, they are taking their sweet time about it, and that's okay to a certain extent. Once we get to around 30 seconds and you haven't seen a kill or any significant map control, then you start to worry a little bit as desperation will start to set in. But Team Liquid are starting to rally themselves, grouping up towards top mid, and Taco's been waiting patiently in the apartments to gather any information that he possibly can. He's been there for quite some time, can hear any footsteps if they're running around, try to deduce some positioning on the defense as well as how many people are actually there. And looks like the push will come in. They've picked the right bomb site, only 2 here instead of 3. Not all that much in the way of grenades here. It's going to have to be the CZs connecting to the heads, but so far it's not really working out for Cirque. Receive a lot of damage, and Team Liquid will take the bomb sites without any issue.
Clean. A site was bleached. It's NRG, what do they choose to do now? They're still carrying a fair amount of money. You can see at the top of the screen there, $4,500 these 3 players are carrying. So there are 2 options, I suppose. One is trying to set up for exit frags, try to steal a weapon away to make some bonus money in the next round. The other option is to just hide and try to use what they have here in the next round to do some more damage when they have better positions. So it seems mostly the latter, but if an opportunity presents itself, then maybe they'll pick up an SMG, something of the sort. That would be really crucial money to take into the next round. So you see Ethan doesn't chase the weapon just yet, but maybe he'll try to collect it now. 2-0 for Team Liquid.
A good start, a clean start. But there is, of course, still some guns to worry about in this next round. It's not going to be a super clean, just USP-only eco situation, so definitely stuff to worry about. And like, already from NRG, we didn't see them just trying to run in for exits. They're like, you know what, we can probably get a better chance in the next round. If we create a cool setup, maybe we'll get lucky, and Liquid will walk into it. We get to use those deagles and CZs more effectively, and looks like we'll have a technical. So waiting on an update on that one, but Yeah, I think this is a really good start. I think I would have actually been a little bit afraid for Liquid if NRG were to get off to a really good start. So I actually wanted to see Liquid sort of having the getting a good run straight out the gate here instead.
There it is. He's blinked. He's lost. It's too late.
He's a creeper in the back.
You done goofed.
Oh my god. Well, we have an interesting situation here for NRG as well. I mean, it's the first game of the day as well, so it's going to be interesting to see if either side is having that morning struggle. Do you have a morning struggle, James, when you play Counter-Strike?
Just not having 5 of me. That's the daily struggle there.
Would you clone yourself? If someone walked up to you and said, James, I can clone you 4 times and then I could fund your Counter-Strike team, would you say yes?
Absolutely. I would win everything.
It's too much barred off.
We are into round number 3. So let's see what NRG can do in this round. We've got a UMP onto Fugly now. Sound back, see if we play. 4 players on short for NRG, so, slash the balcony. So they have a change in approach now.
And again, just remind yourselves, that's in most situations when you're looking at a round like this, round 3, in Team Liquid, they won the pistol, and they cleaned up the next rounds. You don't usually expect to see CZ still, Deagle, UMP, some Kevlars. That was just because they were able to save 2 players, and that means they could drop 2 pistols, and then all of a sudden your entire team actually looks kind of scary. It's only Cirque really on a USP. Obviously, we'll be eagerly awaiting the pickup of an AWP for Cirque. Can't wait for that, but perhaps they can steal some guns here. There are Mac-10s, which will be very useful. Taco looking, or rather, Nitro looking for that information. He's going to find it with the Mac-10 and the AK-47 in combination. Looking pretty good. And they'll be able to claim that A-bomb site relatively easily. Only Daps already have a say-so, and he'll get shut down as well. So I like this. Liquid, we're seeing very disciplined play straight away.
Alrighty then. See Cirque on 30-50. Normally the solid double eco leaves an AWP of 34, so we'll see what he has moving into the next round, but he will have the sniper rifle player on his output. Don't want him holding an M4. Twist will finish things off right then. It's a pretty good start for Team Liquid. They didn't really take many losses in those the 2 rounds after the pistol. Those are the important rounds, so again, that creates added pressure for the CTs because they didn't achieve so much on the force buy in eco. So it will be a very important buy round for NRG. So Cirque has got the Kevlar with his AWP, everybody else with the usual stuff, but some M4s have been sacrificed for FAMASs, so they've got more grenades. The aggression begins immediately.
Oh yes, Cirque on the AWP. That's definitely a very fun dynamic to watch. Oh, that's a peek and a half from Taco, just as I say that. Breeze really desperately wants to trade him back, but they may have to settle for the 4v4. Breeze can pick up the AWP. I don't know if Taco's going to continue pushing deep for that AWP, but in the meanwhile, his teammates are starting to make some progress on this banana area. So Team Liquid created a 4v4. Now they're creating some map control as well. NRG have rotated an additional player from B to that A bomb site, although Daps is in a fast rotation position. Sometimes that player would be called a floater, James, because they are floating between each bomb site based on the info.
Grenade over towards the coffins, but nobody's there. I do wonder how much damage that might have done. Maybe we'll see it in a future round. Daps not sure what's going on towards A or B. They're really lacking info, NRG. That will leave Ethan on his own, jumping off the barrels because he's completely blind. There's a bomb carry down, can't get a 2K though. And now you question the retake. There's a flash on Daps, and that is about it. Going under the boost position, firing back, but you got to be careful. Doesn't stand his ground too long. We have seen Tracers punished in this tournament so far. Now the 3 CTs are more or less around the B bomb site, smoke's dissipating. How will they get their entry?
Well, Breeze does have an AWP, and these positions are not ideal for Team Liquid, or just at the back of the bomb site. But the thing is, can that be figured out here, sussed out by NRG? Looks like they'll actually discover all the players here, but it comes down to the shots, and so far the shots fall better for Team Liquid as Breeze gets in there. He's got Cirque's AWP, there's one. Can he find the next one? Breeze quickly looking for it. think he's trying to find the kid there. Going to tap the bomb, just scoping in on the bomb. Can he make this one work? 2 seconds, 1. Oh, that's close. That's damn close, but Team Liquid will take it away.
I respect the attempt. He knew he could not get off the bomb, so he starts defusing the bomb, presses the right-click scope to suggest that he's just tapped the bomb. But Team Liquid know better than that. They know what's possible. Might have caught someone else off guard. It was a difficult retake for them. I'm not sure what Twist was doing when he ran over from the barrels position. Maybe they thought there was a save. I can only assume because he just basically went wide open and gave a 1v1 and a 2v1 situation where his teammate was unable to trade. So I think it must have been a miscommunication, a miscall to give that kill up in the first place. So it should have been harder for NRG, but here we are. They lose the first buy round. Now they've stacked one of these bomb sites. Vintage flashbang being lined up.
Show us the skin now. Show it. What P90 skin do you have? I feel like players should get fined, James. They're not showing that death by Kitty.
Sincerely agree.
Oh dear. Well, Liquid with a bit of pressure towards that B bomb sites. And this is fantastic from NRG. We'll probably see a lot more of this. Just being very active. Instead of just waiting, they're going to go and be as savage as they possibly can here. But speaking of savagery, we've got the P90. And, oh my God, very fast end to the round as Team Liquid are caught on the rotation there. But they have just superior weaponry. But, again, you know, NRG, they could have sat there and waited. But instead, they're like, all right, so enough timing has passed here that, okay, we saw some pressure. But is that just pressure to hold us here? Or is that actually an indication they're going to start pushing this bomb site? Let's go find out.
I get heart attacks when people are rushing one side on Eco and the person carrying the bomb goes to help that player. Leave him to die. Leave him to die. Go and plant on the other side. But Team Liquid were ready to cut those players down. Had 3 players there in total, and it was more than enough, especially with the P90. And so 5-0. A better buy now for NRG. More M4s, less FAMAS. Some grenades for Cirque as well, so he can support his teammates with some flashes, which is often an important role for a sniper rifle player, which doesn't really get mentioned too much.
One of these test. The master of the AWP for NRG. Cirque waits so patiently for the boiler peak, and neither team really expending too much in the way of grenades on Banana, but both teams trying to take Banana. Both vying for it. NRG still with 3 players there. Will they have worked this out quickly enough? Cirque's going to have to buy some time now because Breeze is going to go down and Cirque's stuck alone on the bomb site. Taco will quickly fall back into the apartments and Team Liquid will rally for a second push here. Again, Cirque still alone with a close range AWP. Smokes all over the place, flames burning all around, and this is a huge problem. Still staying alive. His teammates are actually all dying before him somehow. I have no idea how that's possible, but Cirque on 14 HP. Oh what? My God, that is so ridiculous. But he'll go down.
That was a really cool play from Team Liquid. It seems they were prepared for containment. Isolate themselves from most of the site, still give the opportunity to plant, but stop the players on the site from being able to do anything. They got 2 very fast kills beyond Cirque's position with the rotating players as well, so it's a great flash, perfectly timed. You see the kills raining in on the kill feeds. Quite the flick from Cirque, but it is 0-6. Now we've got the 5 smokes out from NRG. And I used to say that in the North American region, NRG on anti-eco on the T side were one of the teams who are most susceptible to the strategy that they're going to try and play right now.
I think Cirque has pulled off more impossible shots on Inferno than I've seen from anyone except maybe like Kenny S. Pretty impressive. Also like the flame carpet there at the top of Banana, trying to create a lot of presence and force any CTs back should they be in these forward positions. Team Liquid have been really good, really very disciplined on these anti-force buys, anti-eco rounds to make sure that they don't concede anything with those. You start out the round with the advantage. You should be able to play that advantage correctly, and they've been doing so brilliantly so far.
That is smoke number 1 that they've thrown. However, they've let Team Liquid get really deep towards the B bomb site, but Team Liquid are conceding their position. There are 3 smokes down, so they've offered a fake of Team Liquid towards the B bomb site, but NRG have held steadfast, and they've only deployed smoke number 2 and 3 just now. So Team Liquid not a team who normally gets subjected to this kind of thing, but here we are. 30 seconds left. They haven't got a kill just yet, but Elite has got a position in the library. And now they're slowly moving up short, but there's a crossfire on A, and there's 20 seconds for them to sort it out. If one kill goes the wrong way, could lose them the round.
Creep. Oh, that's really a very good start here. Oh, it's going to continue. 3 quick kills unanswered from NRG so far as Liquid try to recover. Naf with the wild transfer there towards Pit. Knows that Breeze is playing with him. Brilliant stuff from Naf. He'll eventually go down to the headshot, but that was a stellar effort at the end.
I'm really surprised they held their... Well, I think Team Liquid was so deep towards the B bomb site that NRG weren't even in position to throw smokes down on B. So they were just kind of stuck on the site, but Liquid didn't commit because they weren't sure. They saw some players, but didn't know if it was a bait for a stack or what, so they moved away. And that was the fatal mistake, because again, 1 minute mark and NRG had 5 smoke grenades. Getting their best Astralis game on, and that will lead to a, well, technical pause. We're finding out what the reason for this is, but hopefully it won't last too long.
Yeah, very timely moments to win a round from NRG, because it almost looked as though they were getting stuck in this cycle of just...
Stop!
Getting...
Just stop.
Unimpressed. It almost seemed like they were going to get stuck in a cycle of, just getting reset. Effectively, like win a rounds, lose a round type thing. I mean, to be honest, obviously this is the first round that they were able to put on the board, but it seemed as though that was their destined fate. So they have to first circumvent that possibility, but to do so by winning a round with pistols, it helps to, it really helps to build your bank, because they would have left some extra cash in the reserves, but now they're going to be spending all of that. So you have the full utility, the full weaponry, the AWP back onto Cirque. And you do wonder if Cirque, he hasn't had too many chances to get aggressive, hasn't had the AWP too many times. Are we going to see him move around a lot more? Are we going to see him on Banana now? Are we going to see pushing on apps? Maybe some pushes down second mid. We know that they are strong with the aggression.
Okay, so Taka reconnected to the server. NRG side already. Okay, and we are on pause. Good to go. So it is 1-6 from NRG's point of view. And they are back with the guns, of course, after their smoke grenade victory. Some carnage there. It cost Liquid a lot of money, but they still have a strong buy to come back with. So Ethan has some cash in the hole. Other than that, not too spectacular, because they did lose a number of players in that NRG. Only survived with 2 players at the end. If they had 3 or 4, it would be quite a different story, but can they get some momentum going for them? Ethan not trying to go forward. He's got to be careful. He's got to hope that there's a gap in that. No, he's running back through, and he's lost more than half of his health, and he hasn't seen anything.
Down to Fugly, down to Breeze on the bomb sites, and I mean, the setup's not too bad, and NRG are figuring this out. They're pushing Banana at the same time. We can see the double man rotation coming in, so that means that Liquid have a small window of timing, and they pretty much have to go in now if they want to beat the rotation that is coming from B. And it doesn't look like they're going to be that quick.
I think they were waiting for a pick for Taco, who got into a really strong position somehow, but here we go, the charge into the pit position. The trade is there, Fugly around the double stack, but he can't do anything. That was here though to trade, to continue to trade. Cirque, 1 peak too many. That leaves it 2 versus 3. The bomb is being thrown from pillar to post to Nitro. 2 players in the pit. Do you expect a second one if you're NRG?
It's going to be very, very tough to breach this bomb site. 2 players in pit is really strong, especially with Nitro in the corner there on the side. He will be smoked off, which is nice. ISO pit players, transfer comes in, won't be good for the second. Ethan can't find the trade in time. It's Naf who's having a great game so far to finish things off there for Team Liquid, and that's pretty brutal. The reset round comes in, and so I don't think too much was actually saved for NRG in the end.
No, just Ethan really. Tactical timeout from that, I believe, yes. Tactical timeout from NRG. How do we... I mean, this is a disastrous start for NRG on Inferno now that they've lost that round. Again, in the rounds that they won, if they had survived with more players, they'd probably have a bye here, but with only 2, that was not to be the case.
They do have a very strong T side, so as long as they can get to, 3 to 5 rounds, there's definitely a pretty solid chance for NRG to come back.
All right, so NRG having a discussion. Ethan's got 5,700. I don't think he'll... Okay. Ooh, what is this? Oh, I like this. Dan, talk to me. What's going on?
So Circus decided to, well, I think he was given the AWP by Ethan. Ethan purchased an AWP, the only player with any money, and he's given it to Cirque. And they are going to bump around this. This will be really interesting. They've actually got a decent amount of utility for CZs to back it up with as well.
Yeah, this is, you don't often see this on CT Inferno. Remember the first time I saw the one rifle thing was Virtus Pro on Cash. I think it was Pasha who won the round. Can Cirque do the same for his team? They definitely need this, and I respect this investment because obviously this is they need something. They need something fast. 7-1 is, I would say, very healthy scoreline indeed. Prognosis might be terminal unless something else happens soon.
Don't expect that. That's something you really don't expect. Elige goes down. Now the alarm bells have been sounded, like they're like, okay, there's an AWP on the CT side. Didn't think that was going to be a thing, but they still have 4 players left to deal with it. And
you have to wonder as well now. Often in this situation, you see the AWP towards A, he's going to instantly go towards the B bomb side. And just try to be in every position you don't expect him to be. Circuit's still over towards A, so you do wonder if Liquid would second guess things, but they are headed in the right direction for the time being.
However, if NRG are quick on the grenades, that's a beautiful pick. That pick might commit Team Liquid. This is a really awkward spot for Team Liquid right now, because the grenades are stopping them. That kill should commit them to try to go for the trade, to try to barrel down onto the bomb site, because the push is now discovered. There's just so many different types of hell right now for Team Liquid in this round. And they're going to force the issue into the bomb site as the rotation comes in from Cirque. There's a great flash for Ethan. Can't finish it off with the frag though. And it'll be crossfire from Dats. It is so successful. Dats with 2. And now Taco is all alone against 5 angry NRG players. And it will be converted. Beautiful setup from NRG.
Now here we have a massive difference. They survive with 5 players. They pick up 2 AK-47s, which means they will have more money if the worst happens once again. That was great play. The Molotov comes down from the CT side. Team Liquid cannot capitalize on anything. How deep they are, the numbers. Well played again by NRG. They're prepared for the worst, but can they win when they've got the best? The AKs, the M4, the AWP onto Cirque. These are the rounds they need to be winning.
Lots of flashes there, fast action. Fugly with the recovery though for the triple. Has support from Ethan. The HE will be sent soaring down Banana. That'll do some additional damage. Eventually Fugly is taken down, but he has done his job. 2 very weakened players remain for Team Liquid as they try to force things into the bomb site of B. But it's just going to be NAF left now, and it's too much in the way of utility blocking him. A very fast response from Team Liquid, and it looks really scary. Those flashes, I mean, Fugly was so blind.
Good continuation spray from Ethan when Taco went for the repeat. Took some damage though, so there is still something to be done here. If Nafly can somehow avoid getting picked by Cirque, then he could make a bomb plant at the very least, but Breeze surely has this one in the bag. Oh boy, maybe he doesn't. Nafly's such a beast! And now he's got a rifle to collect. Off he goes. He knows he was sandwiched. Cirque probably over towards the B bomb site, taking the safer approach, and there are 45 seconds on the clock. He doesn't have to commit to the A site here, and you do wonder if one of the NRG players will go back towards B, or if they'll say, let's commit to a site together. If it turns out to be B, let's retake together. We've got 2 flashes, we can do this. Ethan looking towards the short position, and there is Nafly. He knows one person's going to be there. Oh, he sees a slip on Cirque as well! But he's ready for it with the AK, and he's got time to collect his sniper as well.
What an effort. Naf is so dangerous. He is so dangerous. He's off to a great start today. That's going to bode well for Team Liquid. I mean, they've got a fantastic start. NRG only just recently starting to really be able to contest what they've been bringing to the table. So Cirque will be able to continue with the AWP. He's not had a lot of fun with it so far, one would say. And now the full AKs more or less come out for Team Liquid. If NRG can convert this one, they're well on the way to a pretty respectable scoreline. And once again, we see that challenge on Banana. I have been enjoying some of the dynamics from Team Liquid and NRG on Banana. Both teams have been trying to take it by conserving grenades. And we see sort of constant sort of repeats and retakes from both sides. You can see NRG still trying to spot over the wall. The smokes will be dissipating though, and they'll have to fall back. Can they bait out any more grenades from Team Liquid? The more that they can bait out before Team Liquid hit a bomb site, the better for them.
Presence being shown around the A site. There was some poking and prodding towards Banana, but they've quietly backed off for the time being, perhaps to deploy some grenades in that direction. Information being denied towards Arch. However, all the CTs are on the other side. That's a meaty grenade. Nitro throwing the pop flash. Nice flash if you want to burst top mid. Have somebody pop out of boiler as well on occasion. Can often take people off guard, sometimes see it through smokes as well. 35 seconds left. The bomb still focused on the B bomb site. Will they be wrapping Team Liquid?
And it's like it is going to be the case. Going for that B split here. And wow, that is such a big punish to the three-man setup, the way that NRG have done it. There's no information here. It's like they're going to have the information a little bit too late. Dap's stuck in the corner with the MP9. That's not a good look. Somehow they're able to get some additional kills there, but just 2. It might not be enough. We'll have to see. Everyone from NRG deciding to go through Banana for the retake. This is also a pretty sketchy look at this retake onto the B-bomb sites. But maybe they can make something happen.
They might just have to wait for this smoke to disappear. No more grenades for Team Liquid. That's why they're lining up for him, trying to transfer the spray. Doing some big damage, and surely NRG are at the point of no return. Cirque gets just around the corner, so maybe he'll hold on to the sniper rifle. They might be going back to a similar round. He's got 4,700 in the bank, but the rest of his team kind of broke. They strung 2 rounds together, NRG at the very least. But progress was short. Twist and Liege run away to the victor of the spoils.
Yeah, Naf is just playing so well. Can't really emphasize it enough. And I think you're right. I think there's definitely an argument to sort of load up on CZs and smokes as they did in that previously successful round. I mean, they actually survived with 5 players in that round. So, and they're definitely going to be encouraged by that recent experience. And we'll see 2 AWPs. CZ's UMP.
That looks like some frustration there.
That's a good.
But it's
that's
good.
pretty good buy.
It means he's hungry. He wants it. Ethan and Cirque. So a change in approach. Ooh, Ethan's got into a position. I don't think he was spotted. There are flashbangs to deal with him, of course. The entrance to Biaps. The rail. Flashes from there to Banana. Attacker will trade. 4 versus 3. All of a sudden, NRG have lost 2 players already. Cirque has been dispatched of. Ethan rotating. It looks like they're going to all commit to the A side. That wouldn't be a bad decision. Buckley trying to hold top mid down at the very least. Can't really take another duel in Boiler with that UMP, but he can go for a late lurk if they push it to A.
And they know they have to be quick, but it's already too late. Ethan's close up with the AWP. He'll whiff the shot. Daps in the corner, in the sight with the CZ. Could be quite troublesome. Ethan looking for a head, and he's going to find one. But how many more heads will he find with that AWP? He's actually pinned them down with that ult. The smoke will block off his vision and create an opportunity for Naf to dive out of the pit position to the bomb site. But there's Daps. He's been waiting for his opportunity to strike. Oh, that's stunning! And behind the smoke is Ethan. He can't help his teammates. He's stuck there with an AWP. Twist might find a way to do this. 11 health as the creep comes in, and Ethan will nail him with the USP. Oh, a very close round.
Twist is so insane. He is such a sick player, but oh boy, he did bring it back. He made it really hard for them. Ethan doing a good job from the arch position. This position, Ethan is holding. If you can get there as a CT player, before the T's cross to the other side of pit, it's really important information if you can just hold that line and stop them taking the angle towards short.
Success was had, James, but is it
Expensive.
fleeting? Is it fleeting? Yes, it was very expensive. I mean, it always seems to be very expensive. Liquid definitely showing another gear than they have been in some of the previous maps of the tournament. I'm really liking their form and sort of the discipline as well that we're seeing out of them. I can't really emphasize it enough. I really like to see teams that play disciplined Counter-Strike.
Those are some nice glasses. Oh. All right, Team Liquid, their money has been broken by NRG. Finally, perhaps it's time for NRG to keep the score close. 7-8 is their best possible scenario at the end of the first half. 3 rounds for them to collect. Tumageddon has resumed here with Twist.
I was about to say, the amount of people that are going to start playing Counter-Strike and chewing gum is on the rise. Maybe he's got a good sponsorship.
He needs his branded gum,
Yeah.
like Taquitos got his tape measure. For those of you FGC boys and girls. All right then, Circus still on the AWP. Let's see. Team Liquid's buy is dangerous. It's pretty much a force buy, really. They've got the 1 AK on Elish. And some other dangerous weapons that can get progressive flashbangs in and maybe they can activate NAF with his Map1.
Liquid respecting the smoke for the time being. Just as I say that, flash comes in. They don't push the smoke just yet though, they allow it to dissipate naturally. More flashes as Liquid work their way up Banana. And that's really the only presence that NRG have felt on the map, so we may start to see Fugly rotating in from that speedway position. Indeed, he starts to make his way over and then back again. Never mind. But now the push has been discovered. Team Liquid will try to breach this bomb site, and they've done an excellent job. You can see NRG are actually playing retake. They're actually...
6 HP.
NRG are happy to give it up.
Daps almost killed himself there with his Molotov. Sorry to interrupt you there, Dan. Taco has planted the bomb, but he's been dispatched of 4 versus 3, and NRG can have some patience now, although that re-smoke is a problem. Breeze is far back on his own. So that's going to be, as long as there's no gap, pretty secure for a while. Nafly picked off. We've got one player in the pool, in Twist. Elige still has an AK, and that could be quite devastating. The block is perfect from Twist! Doesn't see the second player though, 2 versus 1. Elige waiting for that smoke to disappear. Breeze has to be very careful. Going for the human shield, the beat shield, the spray is there. He doesn't know that Cirque is not on the bomb. Is on the bomb, sorry. The fuse is there. Ooh, that was close. And Elige still has the AK at least.
And I think the way that NRG just sort of designed that setup, you know, they're thinking about retake. They're like, okay, we can give up the bomb site. We just want to make sure that we survive with a lot of players, keep our guns, because that seems to be impossible against Team Liquid. They've just, every single time they have a buy round, it just seems like they're going to lose 3 or 4 players, just guaranteed. It's always been a difficulty for them. But as we close out the first half, as we go into the last couple rounds, we can see NRG have picked up 5 now. So it's looking much more respectable than it was. I mean, there was like a 7-0 in Team Liquid's favor, I believe, earlier on. So
you could see how hot Elige was on the camera at the end of that round. He was winning that round. In his mind's eye, he was visualizing, Dan, as you like to say. He was visualizing. He had won that round. But it's time for a new round, and they've got the plant. They've did a lot of damage. So maybe they can go 10-5. Push comes in, freezes, flash, and he gets absolutely wrecked by a flying Nafly with the Map1. Fugly in a familiar position, but we've seen that Liquid are prepared for this.
Such a fast pace from Liquid. It seems to be working out, although the site is completely smoked, so this is obviously causing some problems right now. There is definitely a CT in there somewhere, but they have to work out where. And you can see the CT's now pushing behind the smokes back into the bomb site for the retake before the bomb's even gone down. In fact, it's been dropped. And Nitro, he'll be able to defend against Cirque, but so many players just lurking around the site. This is really strange, but it looks like Liquid will be able to handle things in the end.
There were 4 smokes down on that site. There were 4 smokes on A. There was 1 long and there was 1 short. There were 6 smokes on A. And maybe that was partly a response from NRG, because Liquid clearly have a play where they have the default plant smoked between there and the wall. So they're just like, well, let's smoke everything then. Daps has had so much MP9 in his previous rounds, but it's fallen short in some of those, as in that last one. Trying to enable his team as much as possible. And he's really a good in-game leader in that respect. You always see him with the worst gun every single time without fail. And now they've all got the worst guns in sense they've got pistols, or maybe they've got the best ones. Technically speaking, at closer range, the CZ is arguably better than a FAMAS, we discovered. Look up the stats yourself.
Yeah, from a DPS perspective, it is, right? It just straight up is like 10% better.
Until you run out of bullets, of course, but yeah, it's 10% better.
I think the rate of fire is also faster, so that means that the DPS is even much more than the FAMAS in the close range. But it's all about those headshots at the professional level with the CZ, and we'll see NRG actually holding on to Banana somewhat. They did lose Ethan, and they've lost most of their utility, but they at least held on to Banana. Might not matter though, because Team Liquid, they can decide to go wherever they want at this point. They have loads of time. They're going to develop control towards top mid as well. As we can see, the smoke starting to fall onto the A bomb site. In fact, it looks like they're just going to commit straight away. They're going to set smokes and they'll charge the bomb site. This is going to have to be something special from Breeze to make this one work, and it's only a single frag. That's just not good enough.
It's interesting. Normally, Daps has been on top of the box. Breeze sitting below it. They don't check his position at all. Nafly with an exhibition at the end for round number 10 for Team Liquid. NRG had they forced their own opportunities to try and bring it back, but 5 rounds, even how it was looking before, 5 rounds is... They may be disappointed in how some of the rounds went, but I think that they could have ended up with 2 or 3, so this is acceptable.
Yeah, the T side of NRG is pretty scary. Again, one of the things I really look forward to with NRG is the fact that they just don't respect smokes. And when you normally say that, you think, oh, you know, a team that doesn't respect smokes, it's sort of a puggy style. But NRG do it in a really disciplined way. They stick together. They have really good spacing between the players, and they make it work. They really catch teams off guard with their style sometimes, but they're becoming better and better known. And as we move into this pistol round, it's so critical for them to have a success here.
5-man on road, all the way to the B bomb site, but a flashbang is perfect. Nitro says hello and goodbye. No one dead just yet, but NRG all over the site. How will this retake work? There's no flashbang, just a decoy on Twist. 5v5 retake on a pistol round, and they're forcing their way through construction. They don't want to give these guys any opportunity, but Nitro's still alive, running out of bullets though, but he gets 2 kills out of it. Elish now has got to get that StarCraft aim going. Taco will do the job for him. 3 versus 2. All of a sudden, Team Liquid have some advantages. Sorry, 4 versus 2. Twist with 1 HP, but there he goes. Buckley and Ethan still alive. This is going back and forth. Does he believe he's on the bomb? Does he have a kit? Lots of questions for Fugly to answer. Surely the round's been won by this point. Elish has had to go too far to get this kill. I think NRG have reached round number 6, and Fugly confirms it.
All right, now we have a game on our hands. This should, unless something, I don't want to jinx it, unless something crazy happens in this anti-force buy, NRG should be good to make a game of this. And I really wanted to see their T side. I wanted to see the strategies that they would bring to bear, especially when they're playing a team like Team Liquid that knows them so incredibly well. That's going to be something that they have to consider when they're running some of their strats. There's definitely some stuff that NRG has run that has a bit of a surprise factor, because teams just aren't prepared for them. And as they're sort of new to this top flight CS that we're seeing them competing in lately, so Liquid are one of the best teams to deal with NRG and their shenanigans. And first comes this anti-force buy. It's going to be difficult. It's never easy against CZs. 4 smokes as well. Okay, we see a smoke to CT. That's one that will be able to allow NRG to pressure. That's a pressure smoke. It will create a situation where Liquid are forced to throw some of their smokes in response. And that's what NRG want to do. They want to try to eliminate as many smoke grenades as they possibly can from Team Liquid as early as possible.
Look at my gun. Nafly quietly making his way towards the library position. Guesswork from Team Liquid. They've got 2 smokes on the CT side. NRG not shy to show some presence top mid. They'll hear multiple footsteps. That's a nice pop flash which goes into the A site itself. Bounces through neck between the wall and double stack. But there's a quick rotation. But it seems they've heard them running top mid, I would presume, or just suddenly cut noise after showing so much presence. And then charging straight through, not waiting for any smoke grenades. One player will fall down, but can it go their way? Oh, this is very costly indeed.
Yeah, the lack of the CT smoke really causing the problems. Fugly doing an excellent job though. Now stepping up to try to deliver the third, but it's up to Daps with this Mac-10 against 2. He's got 7 seconds to plant. He has no time. Nafly knows it. Nafly knows he has to commit. Nafly can just push him down, and that's going to be the round. Oh, you hate to see it for NRG. They had the right idea. It was just a little bit too slow, and it looked like there was definitely some I don't know if it was nerves or what it was, but
unforced error. Where the smoke at?
Yeah, they didn't seem to have any smokes left, so that was a miscalculation.
I mean, I think it was too obvious for Team Liquid, because NRG are jumping around. They're spraying through smokes, which is fine. They're jumping around top mid, which is fine. They're showing that there are multiple people there, which is fine. But all of a sudden, they go from all of that to 0 to absolutely nothing. They don't leave one person there with a Mac-10 to continue to show that presence. Just like suddenly, it's all quiet after showing all that presence. Instant rotation from Team Liquid. But yes, they did not help themselves by leaving CT open, getting caught with the jewels around that corner and just turn it to a complete mess. Turn it to a complete mess.
That smoke would have made all the difference. And all that was to deposition the team. Now Breeze will be depositioning Twist's head.
Give that AK to Fugly, I think. Take the deagle.
Now I have to see whether or not NRG can sort of capitalize on this early pick. We'll have the push coming into the bomb site there. Nitro will go down. More damage to be done as NRG are looking pretty solid moving into the bomb site. Need to get the bomb planted though in this 2v2. And there it is. Very nice headshot from Cirque. That should be the bomb down. Oh, catching the bomber as he moves across in this 1v1. That's critical from Elige. Oh my god, that was perfect timing from Elige to get those 2 kills. Well, to get the first kill.
Cirque opting for the duel. They don't have the plant, and they're going for the force buy. So this is looking, I mean, they have to win this round, NRG. They've got to win this round. Elige, such an animal. See Cirque jumping on the box here, and that's a wrap. 4 CZs and Desert Eagle for NRG in this round. Show us your best force buy strats. 2 smokes and banana, 1 smoke at the T side of the apartment hall. Nitro just holding an angle behind it. He knows there won't be so much to offer. He'll hear the players moving towards the boiler position. That's all fine. They can have that, but can they have the A site? Twist lining up a pop flash, but there's trouble. Too late for the Molotov, but it'll isolate Breeze. And Twist will try to pre-fire in case he makes it through to the site. Doesn't see the player in the flames. That exposes him too much to Daps for the trade kill.
Yeah, so much in the way of utility laid down on that quad position. Just no way through it. NRG will be stuck. And eventually they'll be just fragged out there by the remainder of Team Liquid, who are recovering very well off the start of this second half, which didn't really pan out too well for them. But yeah, it was all about that anti-force buy win. I still think, looking back on that it was just that 1 smoke. I think when you go for that rotation, even if it's telegraphed, all the CTs are completely out of position as they're rotating, as opposed to sitting on in the bomb site, which would have been harder to deal with. And that's Counter-Strike for you. It comes down to the smallest of margins to give you sometimes the biggest of edges. And we'll get the push from Twist into second mid. You don't see this too often. A distance at MP9, not super effective. Nitro will lend him a hand with the M4 though. And they're going to be careful here because they are creating some fragging situations for NRG that are a little bit ideal, actually. And damage exchange has gone fairly even so far.
NRG running out of space time to do much here on Inferno. Team Liquid will continue the pressure with grenades, but fall back in terms of personnel. No need to overstay their welcome. So even going into the second, even if this goes 16-6, say, I think this has been a really frustrating game so far. You can see it on the faces of some of the NRG players. We saw it on the face of Cirque, and that questions the mindset going into map number 2, where they could entirely have a better map. But if they go in there still thinking about the last one, then who knows? Numbers game, moving into banana, and that's a wrap. 5 kills for Twist, all the money in the world.
Well, that's pretty juicy. And if this was 1.6, that would go into a movie. There's eco aces. You've got to have got to pad the frag movie out with a few eco aces, and that would definitely make it. All right, 14-6, a grim outlook here for NRG. They just can't quite seem to get themselves going on Inferno so far, and additional pressure there. Deep Molotov, the deepest. Pressure into the apartments there from Daps, just spamming through the very thin walls. It's almost as though they're made of cardboard. And it's pretty easy to get those wallbang frags if CTs are moving through the apps. So that's a way to sort of pressure and clear space for your teammates as they take apartments. And we have a very passive Team Liquid. No presence on Banana from Team Liquid. Very limited presence in top middle. Liquid are giving an easy time of it here for NRG to take some map control.
Ooh. Trying to ruin the smoke somewhat. Trying to perhaps make a gap to shoot some legs with. Team Liquid content with NRG having top mid. You would imagine Team Liquid have an idea of where they want to take their fights if the push does come into the A site. Will they be able to do that? Nafli's in a fast rotation position. He's in CT spawn. And Alicia's more or less positioned for the best rotation he can find as well. NRG look focused, laser focused on this A site. Still trying to deal with this arch position at the 30-second mark.
Yeah, absolutely. It's looking pretty decent so far here for Team Liquid, playing very passively, but so far they're actually getting the frags, which is what counts, and now it's just 2 left for NRG as they still try to commit into this bomb site, but there's just too much to deal with, and it's not going to work out well, is it, for NRG? 15 rounds for the 6 of NRG here. Liquid 1 away from victory in Map 1 of the semi-finals.
So I said Liquid wanted to pick where they took their fights. If you saw the player who was in CT spawn, he had the tightest angle for the players moving up short. As soon as he fired some bullets, he took the attention away from NRG. Then his teammate peeks from the arch position, makes it really easy for Team Liquid to just play on that distraction and shut down the push from NRG. 3 AK-47s, that was a really nice setup by the way. 3 AK-47s, looking a little, trying to play with the spawn, but it doesn't survive. Ethan will hunt for the rifle, but not sure he's going to find it. And Anita's not far away either.
Good response here from Twist, just easily dealing with that one. And that will be it. 16-6. NRG unable to get anything going at all in Map 1. Can't count them out just yet. Nuke is next. But this is a beautiful start for Team Liquids. Arguably the favorite for many in this series.
Yeah, that was a very strong start from Team Liquid. But again, their CT sides, their CT setups were devastating. It wasn't the best of halves from NRG in the first half either. I think they were unlucky in some respects. They did well to claw their way back into the game with those force buys, those 1 AWP buys that they bought, but it wasn't anywhere near enough.
Yeah, and seeing one of the latter rounds where we see a super passive setup from Team Liquid and